Hi everybody, Michael here from Replica Airgun, sporting my cold. Not feeling the greatest today, but the videos must go on. Now, this is my KJWorks M700P. We'll get into what the P means versus the M700 version. There's a couple differences. But I have done a field test shooting video for this rifle, so you can check that video out. I'll put a link in the description. There'll probably be a thing after the video that gives you the opportunity to go and watch that one. So check that one out. This is, I say the tabletop video, but there's no way I'm really going to get this gun on a table and be able to shoot overhead and actually get the whole thing in. So I'll do my best to show the gun, you know, up a little closer and stuff. I'll get in there a little bit, see what we can do. But, you know, basically we're going to go over specs. I'll talk about it a little bit, features and things like that. So here it is, right? This is the gun. And this is, again, the P version. We're going to get my little cheat notes here and go over some things, make sure I don't forget anything. So it's built around the Remington 700, so that's like a bolt action, hunting rifle typically. That's what it would be used for, fairly high powered hunting rifle. And it comes in two versions, the P and the regular 700. So the 700 and the 700P, M700 and M700P. And so the M700 is the quick takedown model. It's different. I don't have it here, but it's a two-piece version that actually comes apart just in front of the trigger guard, and so you can actually, there's I believe a lever or something, you can take it down and split it into two halves. But the M700 does not have the removable iron sights, okay? So a little bit different. Whereas the M700, that's basically called the police version, and it's a one-piece model with these iron sights front and back that you can remove. So if you are going to be putting on a scope, you don't need the iron sights on there. You can remove them, okay? So the P version is not a two-piece model, whereas the M700 is two-piece. It's the quick takedown version, okay? So that kind of gets around that. Let's go over some of the specs real quick here. It's metal and polymer build, right? So you're going to have a lot of metal parts, the barrel, the bolt, internals, the magazines, all metal. Of course, like I said, the bolt, trigger guard. Even like your sling mounts and your bipod mounts are going to be metal. Sights are going to be metal. Everything's pretty much metal with the exception of the stock, which is polymer, and it is textured polymer, right? So it's nice. It's kind of rubberized, almost textured, I'd say. All right. It is gas operated, so you're going to be able to use either green gas or propane. Again, it's bolt action, right? So it's got the smooth bolts. There's no spring in here. I just lost my paperwork. So there's no spring. Let me get my paperwork back. There it is. Okay. Again, it's an airsoft gun, so you're using 6mm plastic airsoft BBs. I did my test with 0.20 gram. It does come with these 0.25ers, just a little box of them, but I'd probably recommend at least 0.30 gram or higher. I'll get into what comes with it in a second here. Says that it has an 11-round magazine, but I found it hard to get any more than 8 rounds in it. So, I would say, 9 to 10 maybe if you're lucky, but I really wasn't trying to jam them in there. I don't like cramming BBs into a magazine. It seems to get tight. So I found 8, 9-ish was comfortable. It weighs in at 7.8 pounds, so it's close to 3,600 grams, so 3.6 kilograms. And it does have a smooth bore barrel. I'm not sure of the actual length, but you're probably looking, obviously a good 2.5 feet of barrel there, right? Lots of barrel length. It is smooth bore. Now it does have a claimed FPS of up to 550. I was not getting that in my shooting video. With 0.20 gram, I was only getting just under 400. So there's a discrepancy there. Maybe I was filling the propane up. It wasn't exactly warm though. Definitely. Even in the sea can here during this sort of off season when it's still not warm, I don't crank the heat up for the shooting videos. It's probably about 15 degrees. On a summer day, you're looking in the mid-20s, so it could definitely be warmer, and it would shoot hotter in a warmer situation, of course. Again, it has that textured stock. It has the adjustable iron sights, front and back, metal, front and back, and removable, fully adjustable in the back for windage and elevation. And they come off, so if you want to put a scope on there or something. Built-in bipod mounts here, and you could put a ring on there and use it for a sling. So front and back, you got the sling mounts or the bipod. Throw it on there easily if you want to. Scope rail again is right on the barrel here, attached to the rear of the barrel, and again, it's ready for the bipod. And this is a KJWorks manufactured gun. It's made in Taiwan. Really quickly, want to talk about, well, before I talk about the shooting, let's talk about what comes in it. You get this KJWorks book with all of their stuff, you know, like different guns and things. Really nice book. It's actually got, you know, it's well done, right? It's really quite nice. But for some reason, I didn't get a manual. I'm sure this gun comes with a manual. Maybe I misplaced it. I don't know. My phone's ringing here. We're gonna just cancel that. Okay, that happens. I couldn't find my manual, so I don't know what the deal is there. So I'm kind of having to figure things out as I go. You know, in terms of like hop up, I didn't realize that this guy on the top was the hop up, but that's the hop up, okay? And I thought it was just something to do with this scope rail here, this mount, but it is the hop up adjustment, which is super easy to get to. That's kind of cool. I also got this loading device here, which is for loading the magazine, right? So you put that on there, put your BBs in the tube, and just kind of jam them all in. Makes loading a lot easier than having to do it one at a time. So it's nice that they included that. They also included a little Allen key. I believe it's for the sights, front and back sights. We'll leave this up for now. Yeah, it's for taking off. Maybe not the sight. What is it for? I'm not sure what it's for. Oh, okay. There is an Allen key tab here at the bottom. So it's probably for disassembling the gun, maybe for taking it apart, removing, you know, maybe taking the. I'm imagining, yeah, you could use it in the back here and the front, so you can probably take this whole part out, take the stock off using the Allen key. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's talk about the shooting test. Again, watch that video if you can. I did get about a 1.5 inch grouping with the 8 shots. I think I had one outlier that kind of went haywire. That can happen, you know, in terms, sometimes Airsoft BBs have a little nicks, or they just don't, you know, the size is slightly different, and so they can do some weird things. But 7 out of the 8 rounds, pretty much, they all got within a 1.5 inch group, which isn't too bad. You know, I'd like to take this gun out and shoot it more at distance, but again, it was a cold day. I think the shooting test in the outside temperatures would have been horrible. So maybe in the summer, I'll take it out and do a longer range shooting with it. It did get around 380 FPS. I think I did about a 3 or 5 shot test, and that was the average. And you know, it's claimed up to 550. I don't know why. Again, maybe it's the temperature situation. Hotter temperature, I would have got better results. But even like just under 400 is fine, unless you really want to take shots down range pretty far. But I think, you know, that's still pretty reasonable. As long as your hop-up's adjusted fairly well, you should be able to get a nice trajectory even at longer ranges. Alright, let's show it around real quick. I'm going to show this magazine here. Let's pop this over here. I'm going to show you the magazine just while I'm up here. Okay, so you can see it's got, this is basically where the gas comes out. That's where you put your gas, right in there. Okay, and then you have your loading in the front. You can just pull this down and load them one by one if you want to. It's totally doable. Or you can use that feeding assembly that I showed you earlier. But it's all metal, nice and heavy. You know, it weighs quite a bit for such a small magazine. I'll pop that in there. Okay, usually you gotta take it out. It seems to feed in better with the bolt out. Let's take a look at the bolt assembly here so you can see it. All right, I'm gonna get in closer. So there we go. Okay, so you can see you've got your fully adjustable for windage and elevation. It's a peep sight in the back. This whole area here is for mounting a scope. There is your hop-up adjustment, right? Your bolt. You also have a safety here. So safe on, safe off, right? You got your nice textured bolt there. Trigger guard, trigger, and we're out of focus again. All right, it's gonna be tough to get this gun all in focus for you guys. It's not the tabletop typical video, but if I can, I want you to see the texture on here. Rubber butt plate, right? You got your scope mounts, bipod mounts there. And then, of course, your front sight. Probably not going to focus very well. Okay, front sight, post sight, barrel. Take a look at the other side real quick here. Got your KJWorks, made in Taiwan. Okay. And notice there is some sort of like anomalies on the stock there a little bit. This is your magazine release right here. You can see your trigger guard a little bit better. Such a big gun. Scope mount. Okay, so I did want you to see it, you know, nice and close. That's always something I like to include in my tabletop videos, get up close and see it in detail, not just far back, but you also need to see the whole gun, right? It's important to see what it looks like. Okay, let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. I'll leave it on my lap. Ah, boy. This cold, I tell you. So the bolt is super easy to use. Like when you compare it to a Springer, Springers take quite a bit of work, right? Each time you pull it back, you're pulling that spring back and ramming it forward, right? So with a bolt action gun like this that's gas operated, it's really quick and easy. That's a total plus. The textured stock feels really good. Lots of sight options. You know, with these sights, they're fully adjustable. They're also removable. You can go, you know, scope if you want. You can take the sights off. You can change the sights if you want to something else. It's totally up to you. Again, it's ready for that bipod. We've got the mounts for the bipod or sling. So whatever you want to put on here, probably a bipod if you're going to use this as a sniper rifle. That makes sense. And the full-size drop-out metal magazine, like most of them, holds the gas and the BBs, right? So you could get extra ones if you want to do quick loads, or you could just use that speed loader system, right? That's pretty quick too. Not going to take too long to do that. And the hop-up is super easy to adjust. So nice that it's right on top there. You can adjust it on the fly if you need to. Doesn't take much to do it. So some cons, the FPS was a little bit low, you know, compared to the 550. We're shooting like almost 150 FPS lower than the max. Again, that might have been a temperature issue. Using gas in a, you know, slightly cooler environment will do that. And the 11 round clay magazine, I don't feel confident loading 11 rounds in there. I'm thinking you're looking at more like 9 or 10 tops with that, you know, realistically. And again, some imperfections on the stock, not like major ones, but there was some sort of like manufacturing little things here, just in a couple spots. It's not a big deal. I imagine over time you're going to bang this gun up a little bit anyways, and those little tiny imperfections aren't going to mean much at the end of the day once it's got a bunch of scratches and things on it from using it. So that's pretty much it. Again, check out my field test video, shooting video for this gun. Did pretty good. It's fun to shoot a bolt action rifle. I don't get to shoot them very often. This is in our Canada store. We call it the M700, but it's the M700P in the Canada store. It isn't the 700. It isn't the two-piece version. It's the P version, the police version. So check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Also check out, I'll have a written article over at replicaAirguns.com with additional photos. And of course, we have our Canada and our US Replica Airgun stores over at replicaAirguns.ca and replicaAirguns.us, where you have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, take care.